Hi, Nadeem here. Today I'm doing a video on how to change the boot screen on the Carpuride units. This is for the 502 and 702. Now I've got the 702B, which is the one with the BMW mount on it, but obviously it's just a 702 unit. Now a lot of people are coming onto our Facebook group and onto YouTube asking exactly how to do this, so I thought I'd do a video just outlining every single step. And also, if you're looking for a boot screen, we have the files made up in the Smart Riding and Gadgets display group on Facebook already. I think we've got nearly about 100 or so now, and it's the correct files, which is a .bin file, which you just put onto the micro SD and load it, and it will change the screen for you. But I'm going to go through every single step and show you exactly how to do this, from getting the file from us off our Facebook group and then loading it into this display. The tools that you're going to need to do this is something like this pair of tweezers. If you don't have tweezers like this, then flat blade screwdriver will do, but something that's quite big. This is to force the micro SD card into the slot, because unless you've got very long nails, it's very difficult to click it in place. Then a Phillips head screwdriver for the cover for the port for the micro SD slot on the Carpuride unit. I've got these two here, both of these fit. Actually the bigger one is easier to do with. Then you need a micro SD card. I'm using a 16 gig Dynelec card. I've had that lying around for years and years, but the smaller cards seem to have less issues. And obviously adapter so that I can put it on the computer and get the files off of Facebook from our group to put onto the micro SD card. I've attached the micro SD card and the adapter into the back of my iMac. The iMac has a port in the back that the SD card just slots into. You can connect whichever way you need to connect to your computer. Carpuride do recommend that you reformat the card before use. I've already done that with this one, and also there must be no other files on the card. Right, so the card is ready for files to go on it just now. So I'm going to our page here at Smart Riding Displays and Gadgets. To find for your bike or your car, you can just do a quick search on the main page for it. So if I want to put a BMW one on, so if I type in BMW and search, it will bring up different bin files that are ready to be used. Now it also shows you what they look like. So this is a 40 years GS one. Now obviously it's going to bring up every post that's got BMW in it. Now this is one that's got the BMW and Dakar logo like this. So I think I'm going to take this one. So all I have to do is click this and it's downloaded it. So it's now in my files here. I need to get rid of this old one. Now they're all named the exact same way, so you can't save them all in the same folder, because it will then tell you, do you want to replace it or rename it, because they're all called ISP_part.bin, and that's the file name that your unit's going to look for when it loads it to the unit. So you can't keep lots of them in the one file. So I had one already on here from previously, so I've just put that in the bin and I've put this here. So now I'm going to go into the SD card and I'm going to drag the ISP part bin file for that logo that I just showed you. So that's now in the card. So we're done on the computer. That's as much as you need to do with the computer. There's nothing complicated about it, it's just getting it onto the card. The next stage is getting the cover off the micro SD slot. Now that's right next to where the power button is, so it's not that one that you see there, but this one here. So I recommend that you do this sitting at your desk with lots of desk around you, if you understand what I mean, so that if the screw falls out of your hand, you don't lose it and spend the next 2 hours trying to find it on the floor, because these screws are tiny and you need to be very careful. A lot of people lose them when they do this. So just set your desk, take your time, just take them off. It's not difficult to do, but I mean, I'm saying this from experience because the first time I did it, I dropped it. My wife spent 2 hours looking for it alongside me, then we found it. So please don't do that. And same when you put it back on, do not do it standing at the bike because invariably you're going to drop it. Right, so as I said, do it at the desk so that if it falls off, you're not going to be worried about it. You know, because it's just going to land on the desk. This has got a little indent in them, so I'm going to put the screws in there and I'm going to leave them here. So I'm not taking it over to the bike. So here's the micro SD card. I'm just going to put it in, but I'm not going to click it in place. I'm just going to leave it there because what we want to do is get on the bike, power the unit up and then put it in place. Because if you leave it in place now, it won't actually do anything. Most of the time it doesn't work like this. So I'll just leave it in ready to go, and I'm going to use these to kind of push it in, and also when I'm done to take it out. I'm going to power up the bike, and of course the unit is going to come on so you can see what the display looks like at the moment. That's a picture of the bike that I've put in from previously, just one of my own pictures. So now the unit started up. The beeping is my INNOV third eye blind side detector. When the bike powers up, it does a self-test, so that's what that is. If you want to see what that's like, there's a full fitting video and review on the YouTube channel. It's important that while you're doing this, the phone that you have paired to the unit is not switched on. So you don't want it connecting to the Carpuride unit whilst you're in the middle of this because it seems to mess up. It basically just won't do it. That's all it is. It's not going to wreck the unit or anything. It just means it won't work. So make sure that's switched off. So the micro SD as from previously is held in place there, but I've not slotted in. So as soon as I do this, it's going to bring up a little menu box with an X for don't load and a tick for yes, load. So all I have to do is just push this in, and there's the display. I click OK. And it'll take a few seconds and it will change the screen. There we go. So it's as simple as that. It's nothing complicated. Now it's worth remembering that now that it's loaded, we want to get this back out now, the micro SD, because you don't want it to keep trying to change every time you power it up. And that's where the tweezers are handy. Now I can just pull the micro SD out. And we're done. That's the Bootscreen loaded, as you've seen. The only thing left to do is put the cover back on. Now when you put the cover back on, take this off the bike, go sit down and do it at a table or a desk or whatever. Take your time, as I said, because you do not want to drop the screws, and you will be dropping them the first couple of times because they're so tiny and you're trying to get them back in. Best not do it standing around the bike, or if you lose one, you're going to be in a world of pain trying to find a new one for the unit. And do not over tighten it. It does not need to be that tight. Just very, very gentle turn on it. Do not over tighten. I'll keep stressing this because if you do, when you want to get it back off, it will not come off. It's going to be a nightmare to get off, and you're going to end up stripping the screw out. As far as the Bootscreens go, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can email support@carpuride.com and send them a unit size to the correct size, etc., and they will send you back a .bin file the way that, and you load it just the way I've shown you. Or you can come to our smart riding gadgets group. I think we've got about 100 or so, maybe a bit more. We've got Kawasaki, Yamaha, BMW, everything you can think of. So we already have those files prepared for the 502 units and the 702, and they're free to use. So you can just take them, so it's nice and easy for you if that's what you want to do. Personally, I'm changing the screen every few weeks just when I get bored now, because it's so easy to do. It's not a big deal, and it's nice having that, and it's fantastic of Carpuride to have built this into the unit that you can do this. Overall, the units are decent and they're worth having as well. So if you've any other questions, come to the Facebook group. We know the units inside out, and there's a lot of helpful people in the group. Thanks.